All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Hello. 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 Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. This is going to be a group energy healing that I do for 120 people in 8 different countries. And first, there'll be an intro discussion where I overview the theme, which is work-life balance. In addition to the theme, there will be lots of techniques that help with overall presence and energy safety and energy boundaries, etc., grounding, etc. Because you have to get, ideally, it's most efficient if you get yourself really present, and really centered, and then you do the theme stuff. So that's what we're doing. And there will be a new technique that we use along the way as well, which is cool. And when I'm healing, after the discussion intro part, when I start the healing, about a minute into it, I start talking, and then I talk the whole way through, like saying out loud what I'm doing. So it functions as a walkthrough. So if you didn't pay for the healing from me 2 months ago when it sold, you can just heal yourself as you watch. And if you're one of the 120 people that I'm healing, you could also heal yourself as you watch, but you don't have to. You can just enjoy as well. So I'm excited. Thank you for my hellos, even before the live stream, before I signed on to the live stream. Thank you so much. Someone says hi from Sweden. Someone else is also saying hello from Sweden. Someone saying they can see and hear me. Good. I need that confirmation. If other people want to confirm too, they can see and hear me. That's always appreciated. Just because technical issues can definitely occur. Oops, wait. Let me make sure. I have two different little chat windows going. Let me get that cleaned up. Good, I got another confirmation. Thank you so much. Because as some of you know, I certainly have had my share of technical issues in the past. Hello from England. That's nice to know. Thank you, thank you. You don't have to say your location, but I'm such a geek about that stuff. I love that. Speaking of which, the 120 people are from 9 countries. So here are my little geeky stats about that. 96 of the people are in the US, so a very big chunk of the 120 are in the US. 8 are in Qatar, 5 are in the UK, 4 are in Canada, 2 in United Arab Emirates, and 2 in South Korea, and 1 each in Spain, Germany, and Australia. So hello to all the people that I'm healing all over the place, and hello to anyone that's going to be watching. You're awesome. All right. And of course, hello to people that watch later as a video. You're wonderful too. For sure. Could you give this live stream a thumbs up if you think you're going to like it? Because that helps. All right. So I'm just getting my little pages lined up. I like to see the names of people I'm healing in case I need to read somebody's energy real quickly or something as I'm healing. So then work-life balance I love so much because I've very much needed this technique and still need this technique, this theme, work-life balance. I guess I should explain that super briefly, just as a personal example. Probably personally, I think it's maybe just with this life. You know, sometimes you have baggage and it's specific to this life, like you got it in this life, and other times you have baggage that you've had for like the last 3 lifetimes. So it's really something, you know, work in progress that you brought in with you. But I think for me, with the needing to improve with work-life balance, that's exclusive to this lifetime. I was raised by a two people that were arguably workaholics for different reasons. And that was, I would say, more than encouraged in the household as I was growing up. Um, but we'll leave it at that. So anyway, as an adult, I definitely have been a workaholic. In when I had conventional careers, before I became a full-time pro reader healer, and as well as a pro reader healer, I've been a workaholic. I feel like this is a 12-step program and I'm confessing. But I have worked on it, you know, over time, so it has improved. At first, I didn't even realize I was a workaholic, so that's sort of the, you know, the earliest stage. Um, but okay, so the simplistic concept of being a workaholic or not having work-life balance, you know, the one that you might assume or that comes to mind first is someone who works too much, right? Someone who just doesn't have a life, you know? Someone who maybe thinks too much about their work, literally works too many hours, carries the stress from their workplace or their career into the other parts of their lives. So that's sort of the stereotype, and this theme and the 2 healings that we're doing on this theme today and in 2 days on Tuesday will definitely help with that. But I think this twin set of 2 healings goes further than that, in that there's a if you look a little deeper, there's a balance that you can get with your work and the rest of your life. And you could call work, like say if you're retired or you're a student or a full-time caretaker, you know, like a full-time mom, stuff like that, or a mom and you would have other jobs. That's work, you know, and even if it's unpaid. And so if you look at it on a deeper level, there's a ratio, and it's individual, and it's time specific. So at certain times in your life, there's like a healthy balance that you could get, ideally, between you time and working on all the work that you do. So you time could be hobbies. It could just be rest where you're not, you know, passed out. It could be some form of entertainment like movies or, you know, at home, or just, you know, whatever. Hobbies, just chilling out, right? Doing something you enjoy that you don't feel like is one of the projects you have to do. You know, it's just for fun, right? And also self-care, you know, comes into that you category, right? Your personal time. And so depending on how demanding your work is, you may need more or less personal time in order to not be self-depleting. Like if you have, okay, I'll use myself as an example, right? Okay, so years ago, I didn't do group healings, right? I did one-on-one healings I've done them for 20 years in this life, full-time professional, and healing readings, individual sessions, right? So when I was only doing that and not doing group healings, there would be a certain ratio that I could have gotten, which I never did actually, where not only would the work not be depleting, but I would be strengthening myself along the way and getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. But since I have this workaholic, I have had a workaholic tendency in this life, I worked more than, like my ratio of me time was too low. So as I evolved better, then my me time was enough to stay healthy, but it wasn't enough to keep growing and strengthening to a significant extent. Because that's the ideal, is if you really find the ideal balance, then you're building strength all the time, because you're just not working too much. You have the restorative personal stuff enough, and it's actually adding to you and your strength, and then the work doesn't tax you enough to wipe all that out, right? What I did for many years is, at some point, sometimes I have, I worked more that, enough, my balance was off enough that I was actually taxing my strength and getting less strong. But then for a while, at different times, I got it so that I was healthy, but I wasn't evolving as fast as I could. I wasn't getting stronger as much as I could as a person, because my work level was higher than ideal, the amount of time and energy, right? So if I had dialed it properly, then I could just keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, right? So now doing group healings are and a completely different, they're exponentially more taxing than one-on-one work, and dangerous, like energy safety wise, etc., yada yada yada. Which is why I always warn people, don't just do group healings because it saves you 5 minutes to heal yourself and your kid at the same time, because you're going to a completely different world of risk to yourself as far as energy safety. So you can, but you should know that. And I don't recommend it. But anyway, so as a group healer, the ratio needs to completely be different, which is why I stopped doing individual sessions now, just so I can clear away as much free time as possible, because the ratio of me time that I need is way higher than if I was just doing individual sessions. So I think now, I'm, knock on wood, I don't have any wood near me. Well, I guess this is some sort of wood. I think I have the ratio so that going forward, I'll be able to vastly strengthen myself over time in a way that I really haven't done as an adult in this life. Because my me time will be finally ideal, given the nature of how taxing my work is. So I hope that makes sense. So depending on your work, and depending on, like, okay, for example, I have, I studied some clients, some people that I'm healing. I studied some individual cases to just prepare for today's theme. And, there's this one woman, and she's one of the people I'm healing, and I heal her and her sons and her husband. And she's somewhat typical in some ways in that, she's a mom, and her children are school-age children. And but she also has several kind of jobs she's working on, which is also somewhat common. And so she has, paying jobs that she's trying to get. She's trying to, educate herself to get a different level of paying job. And then she's also got like the dream job, the vocational job, the calling that she feels she wants to do. And so she's trying to prepare for that. So technically she has like 4 jobs. She's got the full-time mom job. She's got sort of mainstream paying job that she's probably trying to get, but maybe doesn't have right now, or maybe she has right now, I'm not sure. And then she has the training that she's doing to try to get that higher level of mainstream job. And then she's got the vocational dream job that she's working on. So she's got 4 jobs, including the full-time mom one, and then the me time. So there can be temporarily, for 5 years, 10 years, however she feels like, because she's so jazzed about the dream job and how she's working on the dream job, her ratio could be higher of how much time and energy she puts into the work, because one of those jobs, I mean, the motherhood job, obviously she loves her kids and everything, but motherhood is really demanding. So the dream job has this sort of special nature to it, I think, where like you can have your ratio a little higher of how much time and energy you're putting on towards your work, especially because you're trying to get something off the ground and you feel like, okay, I got to put more into it, right? But still, she's got to pay attention to that ratio. Otherwise, she's going to just deplete herself and weaken herself and then be less good at all of the above. And, you know, especially if you're trying to manifest, like I think she's still trying to manifest, I mean, even the mainstream job type angle and the dream job type angle. So if she's got to make sure she fits in enough you time somehow, you know, like 5 minutes here and there through her intention, through asking angels for help, whatever, so that she's not depleting herself along the way. So that's, I think, sort of the deeper level of work-life balance. I mean, maybe that's a more complex example, but that's the idea. Is you want your balance to be such that you're getting stronger and you're certainly not depleting yourself and getting weaker. You know, at least you want to be like just healthy, you know, staying healthy, remaining healthy. So the indicators would be, well, do I get sick, you know, in the winter? Can I stay the whole winter without getting sick? Can I, you know, how do I feel like mentally, psychologically, emotionally? You know, that can help you know if you're weakening yourself or not. So I hope that makes sense. So anyway, we are going to work on it's, and again, as with all this stuff, it's easier to do it than to discuss it. You know, like that discussion sounded really complex, but the doing of it is pretty easy. We're just going to clear energy blocks in the way of you having that ideal balance. So that'll be easy, actually. And then for the just the general, like, so you don't overwork, or, you know, say maybe you have too much anxiety at your work, or you maybe have some resentment issues associated with your career somehow, or your workplace, or maybe you're just overwhelmed because one of your jobs is being a parent. So maybe that's overwhelming to you, or maybe your marriage feels like a job that you have, and maybe you're a little stuck about that job. So that we're gonna heal that, where we're gonna heal, it's kind of like an inner child healing, but not an inner child healing. So like, for example, the compulsive worker part of you, say if you have one of those parts of you, which you may just subconsciously, like say if you're not an overworker, you don't think you are, you can still imagine, you know, a little compulsive worker part of you and give that part of you a healing. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna imagine little parts of you and give those parts of you healings for all those different potential issues. Because I just think it might be easier, because technically, say if someone has a compulsive working issue, and, you know, there was this other sample person who is a telepathic participant and his wife is the conscious participant, but they both get all the healings, all the group healings I do. And he's very much kind of stuck in overworking. And part of that is because his business is struggling, he feels, and that's, I think, a common excuse for, you know, having your balance really off, is you're like, well, I have to, you know, because the business isn't going well enough. The thing is, if you tweaked your ratio, your balance a little bit, I mean, yeah, you'll probably work more because you know, your business isn't where you need it to be. But if you don't keep track of that ratio, then you'll be weakening yourself more and more and more, which then makes it harder to manifest improvements in your business. So, you know, it's like when you're on an airplane, you know, they make you put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you give, you know, help the person next to you. So if you're, you know, you count, you know, you can't just give the oxygen mask to your business, right? So, so anyway, we're gonna work on all that. And then we have the Tuesday healing too, of course. But today that's kind of what we'll do. We'll heal these stuck parts of you, and we'll also clear energy blocks in the way of your balance, so you can have hopefully closer and closer towards that strengthening balance between you time and all the different work that you do. And if you're unemployed or underemployed, then looking for a job or manifesting a job could be one of your jobs that you have. Very important job. So what else did I want to say? Oh, and there is sort of in the fundamental section, there is a new technique that I think could be fairly significant, but I don't want to overbill it. I just want to do it, and then, you know, people hopefully will fill out their post-healing surveys tomorrow, and then I can read the energy of people's surveys as I'm reading what they wrote. And then I'll be able to see how significant the technique is. And then over time, I'll be able to see how lasting the effects of the technique are. And then I'll really know if it's a big deal technique or not. We'll field test it. I mean, I've field tested it already on myself, of course, and on some people, but so we'll see. So your surveys will be very useful. Your post-healing surveys, if you fill them out tomorrow, please. The people that I'm healing, you'll get a survey link late tonight, and you can do it tomorrow. Should I preview a little more of that technique now? I'll just say what it's called, and then we'll do it when we do it. We'll do it after like grounding and aura repair stuff. I don't know if I'll think of like a cute name for it, but basically you're unmatching global pain. Like it's possible, like there are certain sort of vibrations of energy blocks that most people on the planet have. And so if you have them too and you clear them, then you unmatch the pain on the planet that, is like existing in masses and masses of people. And pain meaning energy blocks. So it does good things to do that. It feels quite nice to do that. So you're still, part of the human race. You're still on this planet, but you're not feeling the group misery, sort of the group stagnation, maybe, of the other people. So that's the idea. So unmatched group pain, something like that. Very non-sexy name though. So maybe the angels will help me figure out some nicer name for it. But anyway, and later there will be a healing summary in the comment section. Oh, hold on. I need to plug in my laptop. Hold on. That's really important. So later, within a day in the comment section, I will have a detailed healing summary so that you can jump down there and look exactly at what we did, and there will be timestamp links so that you can jump around to various sections if you want to do them, or you want to repeat them, or skip them, or whatever. Okay. So catching up on comments. Oh, I got a hello from Chicago. Hello. I used to live in Chicago for many, many years. Hi, Janet. Hello from Portland, Oregon. Good to be here. Thank you. Thanks for my emojis. Hi, Janet. So timely as always, just starting a bigger project and find my self-care normal routines go by the wayside. Hi from Chicago. Deciphering me from my passion for work has been a challenge for me. Yeah. Yeah, I think the thing about, are you getting stronger over time or weaker over time? Or are you just kind of existing? Are you existing, like getting by? Are you existing, you're healthy, but you're not, really like you're not sort of maximizing your opportunities for strengthening? Um, I think maybe that can help people realize, but I think a lot of people know. But I think, like for example, my husband, Lorenzo, he's very observant. A lot of people's spouses are observant, because you live with the person. It's easy to tell. So sometimes your spouse or your partner or your good friend will know before you know that you have a certain issue. So that's something that he's sort of quietly nudged about over time with me. So perhaps you have someone in your life trying to quite quietly hint that you have an issue with working too much. um, Hopefully you have a spouse that's as delicate as mine is, who knows, because I'm very stubborn. And so if you say something too strongly, then I'll just turn into a contrarian and say, no, that's not true. So it has to be extremely delicate. I got another hi from Portland, Oregon. Really need this one. That's good. Weather report. It is misty. We're entering the time of year here where I'm about 2 hours north of Portland, Oregon, factory in traffic in Washington State. And it's very misty and cloudy outside. Cloudy is sort of, yeah, of course, right, for this time of year, but the mistiness is nice. I kind of like that. I mean, if you don't have to drive in it, which I don't because I work from home. Um, but that's sort of this time of year. We get a lot of mistiness. Seems very mysterious. Okie doke. So good. So now we'll have the 2 minutes of quiet where I'm finally silent. So enjoy that because it's only 2 minutes long. And then we'll start. Well, halfway through that silence, I will start the healing. You'll see me move my hands up here, so you know I've started. And and then I'll after the 2 minutes of quiet, I will start talking out loud and do the walkthrough from then on. Um, so thank you for your patience. All right, thank you so much for waiting. So when you heal yourself, make a copy out in front of you of what you're healing, whatever part of your energy system. You make that with your intention. You don't have to see it. You just imagine, think, create it with your thought. As an energy to use to heal, you generate with your hands and your fingertip chakras. Your hand chakras are in the center of the palm of the hand, and the fingertip chakras are in the fingertips. And you just they have round openings, and you set the whole chakra to a metallic gold color, like this glitter. If you need to see reference color, metallic gold. And you just set those chakras to that color, and unblock them so that they are, as the round opening is as wide as possible, so that helps to generate more energy. Gold is a good vibration to use for healing because it's fast moving but not too much to be over stimulating, so it helps you repair and let go. So you can just comb through your aura, your copy of both your regular auras out in front of you, your astral body aura, your energy body, the part of you, the you that comes into your physical body, that's called your astral body, made up of energy. And then your physical body, of course, also has energy, but it's physical as well, with cells and bones and everything. So your physical body has its own chakras, major chakras along the spine, 7 major chakras, generating your physical body aura, which has 7 layers. And then your astral body looks like a physical body, but it's pure energy, and that has 7 chakras along your astral body spine, which generates your astral body aura. So first, we're just going to be healing the 2 astral body auras and grounding both of them. They both have grounding. So let's do grounding specifically. So grounding, generally, I mean, if you were to like live in a forest and really have a very nature-based life, I think your grounding would naturally be as wide as your whole aura. But most people don't have that kind of life that are hearing this video. And so you make a grounding that wide as your whole aura, and staying wide all the way down to the core of the earth. You make it with your intention. And I would suggest that you make it and think about the color as you make it, and make it red or orange or yellow, just because those colors are good for your lower chakras. They would help them to feel good and spin and release energy and stuff. If you don't know which of those colors to pick, there's not really a bad choice between red, orange, and yellow. So you use the gold, you imagine a copy of your grounding out in front of you. Make your grounding as wide as your whole aura. So that would be about this wide if you stretch your arms out, as wide as the heel of the palm of your hand. And make your grounding go up as high as your 3rd chakra, which is where your sternum bone, the bone that goes down here, down the midline of your rib cage. That's your sternum bone. Where that ends, that's your 3rd chakra. Chakra number 3 has to do with taking action, finishing projects, physical activity, but also sleeping well. So sort of like revving up, moderating how revved you are, how alert you are, and also revving down for sleep. So that's 3rd chakra. So you make your grounding that high and all the way down to the core of the earth. So maybe like a waterfall or a tree trunk that is very, very flowing downward. And just comb through that, a copy of that out in front of you. Make a mini copy. And just comb through it, and you want to melt away any blockages that are in your grounding, any energy blocks. Sometimes they get stuck along the way. And when they get stuck, then you get like a buildup, and it's a traffic jam, and it can block up a lot of your energy and how you feel. And sometimes if you're cranky, your grounding got blocked. So just imagine maybe like stacks of rocks or stacks of books in your grounding, whatever represents the hard energy blocks, and run gold light through them until they melt. And just find more and more stacks of energy blocks in your grounding, and just run the gold light through them until they melt. And keep breathing. The more you breathe, the more you just relax as you're doing this, the better it works. So that's grounding, and also grounding unblocking, right? Where you melt the blocks. So now indie grounding. Indie grounding is still grounding related, where you check the outer surface of your grounding as it goes downward all the way down, and you want to melt off any branch off parts where it's branching off into other people's grounding. And sometimes you may have sort of chronic places where the branch off parts happen. Like I was working with this one woman, and she's like, "Oh, I do my indie grounding, but it seems like maybe in the back she has a blind spot. So I don't know if she's just looking down and not using a copy out in front of you, because sometimes with the copy, you can spin your copy around and stare right at the back of your grounding and kind of imagine it and make sure it's not having branch off parts." So even if you have kids, it's better for them to have their own grounding, even if, it's like a newborn or something, or even in your womb, there's no need. It's better for them to have their own grounding going all the way down to the core of the earth, because that way, if your grounding gets stuck, their grounding could be fine, or vice versa. Whereas if you're together, it's sort of like a three-legged race, and you kind of, your baggage can block them up and vice versa. So is better. And sometimes I mention to parents that this is something you can teach your child. Like, I'm a big strong tree, you're a big strong tree, you have your own roots, I have my roots, kind of to get the idea of grounding expressed. Because sometimes, if your kid is upset, their grounding got blocked up, and so maybe if they're super upset, they're not open to working on that. But if they're just getting a little bit difficult, and you've already taught them about grounding and tree roots, then maybe it makes sense, and they'll be more open to checking their tree roots and make sure it's a nice flow, or check their waterfall, make sure it's a nice flow. But of course, for all the adults, that's something you can do on your own grounding. Check your own grounding if you're getting tired or cranky or distracted, unfocused. Somebody telepath me, you just described my entire day. Well, you may have a chronically blocked grounding, especially in the back half. That's usually where it's most likely to block up. But anyway, so let's talk about indie grounding, where you melt off the branch off parts, but then we veered back into just regular grounding and blocking a little bit. Okay. So that's indie grounding, just making sure there are no branch off parts. Your grounding just goes all the way down. So let's do aura repair. So aura repair is also another, I would say, essential, basically, for you to kind of not be very self-depleting, is to make sure your aura is repaired. Your aura can get damaged because people throw energy. Anybody really could do it. It's just if subconsciously they get irritable, a little pissed at you for some reason. It can be somebody you haven't spoken to in years. It's just that they got triggered about something, and subconsciously they sort of have a list of people that they're unhappy with. So every time they get pissed, they just kind of throw energy at that list of people. So you may be on people's list. So that when they get super stuck, that they throw energy at you. So anyway, that's why it's really useful to check and see if you have rips in your aura and heal them up fast. Because if you don't, you just let them go for like even 2 days, it's going to really degrade your experience in those 2 days. So just imagine a copy of both your regular auras out in front of you. We'll do the same process later for your Weichi auras right after this, which are 15 extra auras that you have. But just imagine the 2 regular auras, just so you make sure you get those repaired fully. And just imagine any rips that you have in these regular auras. And it's okay if you can't see, because you could use your imagination and your thought and your intention. But then as also to repair these rips, if you can't see, it might be more comforting for you to use a composite copy technique. So you imagine one rip that represents all the rips in your 2 regular auras. So you just imagine one rip that is a composite copy of all the rips that you need to repair in your regular auras. And just imagine that rip maybe like a big valley. And you need to get the gold light really deep into the valley so that it starts to repair. So you can kind of get the gold light maybe under the valley and inside the valley. And as much gold as you can, just so it starts to grow back and fill in. And it's good to clean out the rip as well. Sometimes when people's aura repair doesn't finish, it's because there was too much junk in there, so the gold light didn't make contact with the rip parts. It just sort of bounced off all the junk. So we can use sticky gold wax, which is an easy technique. The gold light, you turn it into a sticky wax that sticks to all the junk that's not you, that you need to clean out. And just stick the wax to all the junk, get it deep in there. And then you're going to pull out the wax and the junk and just give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. And you have angels, even if you didn't know you did, you still have them. And if you say angels, they're listening. So just imagine that rip. Again, use sticky gold wax again, clean it out really good, well in there, and just get rid of the wax and the junk. Angels, here you go. So now you can do more repair. And if it's been a while since you've repaired, or you've never repaired before, then you're going to need to clean out more than if you say repaired 4 hours ago. Then you might not need to clean out as much with the sticky gold wax. So sticky gold wax, get rid of the junk. Angels, here you go. And more repair. And then when it's all repaired, so it's no longer leaking, you can have scarring left over where the rips were. And the scarring is sort of bumpy and hard as opposed to like flowing and kind of bouncy. So you don't want scarring. It contributes to a weakness in your aura. So it makes it more likely to rip more easily in the future, which we don't want. So you just imagine all the scarring around the edges of either of those 2 regular auras, and imagine all the scarring in one place, like a composite copy of all your scarring, and just melt it away with gold light. So surround your aura scarring with gold light and just melt it away. And then there's a couple more things that you can get. Hard energy objects, you could get stuck in these auras. So we can use sticky gold wax to get rid of the hard energy objects. So hard energy objects is because some people, not only do they throw blasts of energy, but they throw a hard energy object with it, like a spear or several spears, or many, many, many spears, depending on how stuck the person is. Stuck in subconscious rage. But that's okay. You can remove them very easily. So just use sticky gold wax, especially around the outer surface of your aura. to stick to all the hard objects, if there are any. And then put the sticky gold wax also inside your aura too. Maybe one of the hard energy objects got pretty deep in your aura, or deep in one of your chakras, or one of your energy channels. So just have the sticky gold wax go throughout your 2 regular energy systems and throughout your grounding and around the outer surface of your grounding. Sometimes you can have hard energy objects stuck in the edges of your grounding. So sticky gold wax the whole thing, these 2 regular auras and your astral body and your physical body and your 2 grounding. Okay, so you're gonna have the wax stick to all those hard energy objects. You can have the wax stick to energy blocks that you want to get rid of, and also people's energy and invasive beings too if you want. And just move all the wax with the junk to the side, and then go, angels, here you go. We're gonna just stay present, maybe move around a sec. And let's do that one more time. Sticky gold wax around the outer surface of both your regular auras and inside the whole thing, both regular auras, and then throughout both your groundings and around the outer surface of both your groundings, and then move the wax and the junk to the side. You give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. And now we'll do just a little bit extra repair, because removing those hard energy objects, particularly the ones stuck in the outer surface of those auras, can leave a little gash, little hole. So we don't want that. So just finish up the repair process around the edges of those 2 regular auras. And just check that your grounding is still flowing well, especially in the back. You may need to melt away some energy blocks to get that flow going well again down your grounding, all the way down to the core of the earth. You don't want like a little pile of junk at the core of the earth, you know, because that'll plug up your grounding. So just melt all that away. Make sure I'm in the camera shot here with my work. So again, just find any blocks towards the very bottom of your grounding and just melt those away. Then you get a faster downward flow, which is good. Helps you release more. All right. So that was repair, very thorough repair of both your regular auras. And so you should have like a nice surface tension now on both your regular auras, like a nice bouncy, supple surface tension. So that adds to the strength of both of those auras. You can redo your gold buffer zones. It just takes a second. There's a reference video about that that has gold buffer zones in the name. So if you search generate gold buffer zones, you'll find it. It's 18 minutes. And that also, it slows the rate of aura damage if you use them properly and recreate them regularly, which is important, useful, helpful. Let's get rid of aura bruising too, just for a minute, still with these 2 regular auras, because you can, like if someone's throwing energy at you for a while, say your aura is really strong so it doesn't rip, but you could still get a couple layers worth of bruising from the impact of someone continuing to throw energy at you. Even if your buffer zones catches most of the force of it. And if you get too much bruising, then those aura bruising is like energy blocks, like a sheet of energy blocks in part of that aura layer. And so if you get too much bruising, it works just like energy blocks because it's a hardness, and so it will make your aura tear more easily. So anyway, so you just think of the 2 regular auras, and you know they have layers, like layers of an onion, 7 layers each, and just melt away any bruising anywhere in any of those aura layers. And you can do one area at a time. Like right now I'm doing the back of the aura, aura bruising in the back of the aura, melting it away. And then specifically the inner 2 layers in the back of the aura, layer 1 and layer 2, just extra. And then the sides of the aura. Some people really forget about the sides of their aura. And the front, of course, the aura bruising in the front. And while you're at it, you can just, regular energy blocks too, just melt away as much as you can that's blocked up in the front of your aura. In the last healing of the last triplet set, well, the last 2 healings of the triplet set of this month, we did, I found an abbreviation for it, STEB, STEBs, I don't know, stubborn triggered energy blocks. So we'll probably do more of that this time. But I want to get this next technique done first, because I think that might help with everything. Well, after we do the Weichi. Yeah, after we do the Weichi, then we'll unmatch global pain, and then who knows after that. But I think the unmatching global pain might make the other stuff a lot easier to do if we do it afterwards. So we'll see. Okay, so let's do Weichi aura repair. So it's the exact same thing. It's just with the 15. It's the exact same thing of the same process as with the regular auras, except the Weichi auras, they don't have layers. They're just like, but there are 15 of them. So you can repair them all at once. But they're like big flowy gold force fields, like gold mists. And they can get ripped. They can have big energy blocks sitting in them. They can have invasive beings sitting in them. But, you can just focus on like the big rips and repair those. And you can use a composite copy, just imagine one big rip and then heal that one big rip. With Weichi auras, I guess since people don't work on them that much, I don't know, my composite copy that I'm going to use isn't like a little valley. It's like really the whole front half just scooped out. Because a lot of times that's the level of Weichi aura damage people will have. Like the whole top is just scooped out of, some of their Weichi auras, or the whole back, most of the back of their Weichi auras, some of them are scooped out, or the front or whatever. So your composite copy could be just like a bigger kind of bowl size hole. And you just have it represent all the rips that are healthy and gentle for you to repair in your Weichi auras right now. So it's one copy that represents all the rips that you need to repair right now. And with Weichi auras, you do think of that healthy and gentle, because it could be that there's so many rips that it's not healthy, it's not gentle enough to repair them all at once. So you just use your intention. Do what's healthy to do right now. But it's the same idea. You just scoop out, get the gold light as deep as you can into the rip, and you can clean it out too, and use sticky gold wax and just clean out the rip, and take the junk and the wax out at the same time. Angels, here you go. Again, more wax in the rip, and the wax sticks to all the junk that's not you, that you need to get rid of, and then just get it out all at once. Angels, here you go. And you can turn your, composite copy around if you want as you're working on it. And just like with the regular auras, you can have leftover scarring. So once the rip is repaired and it's, now it looks nice and round, you can still have hard, bumpy scarring around the edge of that Weichi aura. So you can imagine all your scarring of your Weichi auras that are healthy and gentle to repair right now. Weichi auras, I spell it WEI space CHI, Weichi auras. Weiqi is a traditional Chinese medicine concept. It has to do with your strong boundaries energy. The 15 Weiqi auras, that's something that the angels described to me. So just in case you haven't heard that, I'm going to fix my camera, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So the aura scarring, just imagine all that in one place. Your aura scarring for your 15 Weiqi auras. That's probably, you don't really have to think about healthy and gentle as far as melting aura scarring. Because it's such a strengthening thing to do. You can melt it all. But so you imagine this big lump of all the scars in your Weichi auras and just melt them with gold light. And just keep breathing as you do it. And then we'll do sticky gold wax through your 15 Weichi auras and just remove any hard energy objects around the outer surface and inside the 15 Weichi auras. And move the wax and the junk to the side and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. So the junk is anything that's not you, that you're ready to release, including hard energy objects. So sticky gold wax around the outer surface of your 15 Weichi auras and inside your 15 Weichi auras throughout. And move the wax and the junk to the side. Angels, here you go. And just do a little extra repair now that you removed the hard energy objects. Gold light throughout the 15 Weichi auras. That extra repair gives you that nice surface tension, like a cohesion, like a flowy, bouncy cohesion that adds to the strength of your auras. So I want you to have a nice surface tension or energy seal to as many of your auras as possible. All right, so again, check your grounding, your regular grounding, your astral grounding, your physical body grounding. Just make sure you get a really good flow all the way down and that it's indie grounding. So no branch off parts. Okay, cool. So that was a lot of sort of foundational stuff, grounding, indie grounding, aura repair of your 2 regular auras, and then aura repair of your Weichi auras. So now we will do the Unmatch Global Pain technique. Again, not a very sexy name, so maybe over time there will be a better name for it. But that's what I'll call it today. And again, so what it is you can intuitively read energy blocks that you have within you that also most people on the planet have. And so then as you clear those energy blocks in yourself only, very key, only within yourself, then you are unmatching the pain that others are in, the stagnant blocked energy that others have. And because there are certain blocks that most everyone has, it's a powerful thing to unmatch that and just kind of not be stuck in the same way. And it's more relaxing. And it can help with energy safety as well. But it is very key that you do it. I'm going to walk you through a certain way where it's pretty straightforward how to do it, but it's key not to like do it the opposite way where you're just healing everyone on the planet or something, because it's just energy safety is important. I don't know. I don't want to scare everybody, but there are big invasive beings, and there are bigger and bigger and bigger ones. And so when you're a group healer, if you even heal 2 people at once or 3 people at once, it's very noticeable to the biggest, most invasive, most aggressive beings on the planet. And they basically come after you and pound you like mercilessly for a long time, continuously, basically. So you have to be strong enough for that. And, whatever. If you're you'd be a pro person who's at a certain point in a certain lifetime where they're like, yeah, I'm ready for that. And your angels know, and and you're a conscious telepath, of course, by then. So, you don't just fall into that by accident, because you'll get smushed. You'll still be alive, but like, for example, I've had a few clients who just sort of ignore what I keep saying about that, and they just start healing multiple people just because. And safety schmafety, who cares what Janet says? And so they start healing a bunch of people, and like just an example of what happens. Their abilities just kind of get smushed, and they can't see as well anymore. They can't use their intuition anymore very much. They can't heal themselves properly anymore. They just get kind of smushed. And eventually, hopefully, their angels get them to talk to me about it, and then I realize what they've been doing, and we get it fixed. And they stop doing that. So anyway, that's the idea. So you're only going to heal yourself in this situation, but it's pretty easy to intuit, I think. And you can just kind of wing it, and I'll walk you through it. You can intuit where most people on the planet are stuck, and then just not be stuck that way. By melting your block only. And it's nice. It's nice. Now, as far as doing this for other people, I think it's kind of a big deal to do, so I'm not really going to advise people on that at this time. Like, for example, a lot of moms, they want to instantly do this technique for their kids, even though they have just barely done it on themselves. And I would say that I can't comment on the safety of it at this time, because it is kind of a more esoteric technique. So maybe just on a case-by-case basis, you can ask me if your angels say you're ready to do it on your kid. Pro healers, if you want to double check with me if you're ready to do it on a client, that's fine. You can post under a video or something, or in a Q&A. Ask me if you're ready to do it on clients. But if you're a pro healer, you probably, hopefully, are a conscious telepath, so you can just talk about it with your angels first. Okay. All right. So that's not only introducing what we're going to do, which is unmatching group pain, global pain. So it's not just group pain, it's global pain, the group of most people on the planet. So yeah, it's easy to do, but there was a lot of safety stuff I had to explain, which hopefully you will consider. But whatever, you're a free spirit, so do what you do. Okay, so let's reground in case that was a little triggering. So just think about your grounding, red or orange or yellow. Make it, you can change the color of your grounding for fun, among those 3 colors, and comb through a copy out in front of you, get it nice and flowing. Gold light, make sure it's unblocked in the back and the center. You can redo your gold buffer zones. If you have something triggered because of all that I was discussing, you can make a big gold blanket out in front of you, dump all your triggered energy blocks onto the blanket, melt them all, melt all the cords, just set them all on fire with gold light and blow them all up or melt them all down. You can say, angels, help me clear them. So, and again, the 120 people, you don't have to do this technique on yourself. That's just extra added bonus. If you want, you can learn how to do it on yourself. And I do think it's newbie friendly to do it on yourself. It's just the doing it on other people part is the question mark. Okay. So Unmatching Global Pain. You just find a place that you're blocked that other people are blocked as well. Like, but everybody, most everybody else. So it's an intuitive thing. And so I'm just going to walk you through as I do it. A more obvious place, I think, probably is the seventh chakra. Seventh chakra is in the top of the head. Has to do with identity, autonomy, empowerment, creative inspiration, confidence. And it's a common place where people are controlled or manipulated, dominated, whatever, you know. So if somebody wanted someone else to feel not so confident, so they're more docile and controllable, right? They could put energy in the seventh chakra. So it's not that the same person put the same energy block in everyone's seventh chakra, but it's like the similar vibration. So everybody's basically, it's like the same energy block, but it's from different sources, from different lifetimes, whatever, right? So you just imagine your seventh chakra only, right? And then you no composite of anyone on the planet, because I told you that's like insanely risky. I wouldn't even do that. And I'm a group healer. Okay, so just your seventh chakra only, right? And then find an energy block, maybe, you know, like seventh chakra is like this, round opening at the top and at the bottom. Ideal color for the seventh chakra is purple. So not gold and white, please. But so say this would be my demo for the seventh chakra if this were all purple, right? So round opening at the top, round opening at the bottom, right? And so find an energy block that you have in your seventh chakra, maybe in the top round opening or in the bottom round opening, that you just intuitively know it's your energy block, but most people on the planet have one that's extremely similar. So it's like they're stuck in the same way. And it can be a stack of like 3 or 4, or it could just be one. And again, this is just your energy block that you're melting. And once it's melted, you just kind of relax for a sec, maybe breathe, center yourself. Okay, and so let's do another seventh chakra energy block. Again, your seventh chakra only, but you're using your intuition to find a block that you have that most people have as well. And so this time I'm doing one in the top of the seventh chakra before I did the one at the bottom of the energy, the seventh chakra, but it doesn't matter. So this one I'm thinking of is like a stack of 4 energy blocks in the top of the seventh chakra. And again, just melt your energy blocks. And if they're not melted, you can just say, angels, help me do this. And if you're freaking out about like, oh my gosh, Shannon told me it was risky, I don't want to do this, you could just say, angels, help me do this. You know, help me just heal myself only. Help me pick the energy blocks, help me do it only on myself. You know, your angels can help you. That's easy for them. And then also you can have energy blocks, you know, blocking the round openings, but also around the cylinder part of the chakra, right? So, excuse my slurping. Around the cylinder of the seventh chakra. So you can find an energy block there that you have, but also most people on the planet have one extremely similar. And just melt your energy block wrapped around your seventh chakra. Take your time. You can use purple earth energy, bring up purple earth energy for your seventh chakra, and just more gold light. And again, if it's not clearing, just say, angels, help me do that. All right. And you can just center yourself, notice your grounding, make sure you're still grounded, your grounding is flowing. And just notice like a miniature version of yourself, and notice if you notice anything about how that energy shift is for you. Like, are you releasing extra right now? Are you releasing energy upward? Are you bringing new energy in? Just how are you doing right now? Okay, so let's do more of that. Unmatching global pain. But again, you're just unmatching. So you're changing yourself. You're not changing the whole planet. I mean, yeah, there are positive ripple effects. So you're technically helping others, but in an indirect way. All right, so the back of the first chakra is back of the fourth chakra, I guess. Fourth chakra, number 4, heart chakra in the center of the chest. It has to do with, like, you can think of it as the feel-good chakra. It's like enthusiasm, positive thoughts, gratitude, motivation, self-love, feeling worthy, all that good stuff. Having a healthy balance between your awareness of your needs and your awareness of other people's needs, compassion, all that. That's all fourth chakra, right? So that's another really common place where people can get stuck, right? So you can go ahead and just imagine your fourth chakra only, right? And it could be astral or physical or both. That's fine. But just your fourth chakra, and just intuit an energy block that you have that's super similar to one in vibration, similar to one that most people on the planet have. And just melt your energy block. So I'm noticing like a block of them in the back of the fourth chakra. But yours could be around the fourth chakra, in the front, you know, whatever. But just melt your energy blocks. Lots of gold light. Take your time. Maybe wiggle your toes so you're more present. And if it didn't clear yet, just say, angels, can you help me with that? Okay, and let's do another fourth chakra one. This time I'm going to pick one in the front of the fourth chakra, but you can, you know, it could be in front and back, because the 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, those chakras, the round openings in the front and in the back. 7th is oriented this way, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 are oriented this way, right? So just find an energy block, fourth chakra energy block that you have personally, but that most people on the planet have as well. And just go ahead and melt your energy block. And again, it could be a stack of multiple ones. Like I'm noticing a stack of 3, so I'm melting those. But again, you're only melting your energy blocks. And again, if you're one of the 120 people I'm healing, I am doing this process for you. You could also learn how to do it on yourself, but that's optional. Okay, so just if that didn't clear, just say, angels, help me clear that. Just be in your legs. Take a deep breath. Notice, just imagine a copy of you, and just notice, are you releasing more? Are you bringing new energy in? Is more energy leaving out the top of your aura? What's going on with you? If you feel sleepy or anything, check your grounding, make sure you unblock it. So let's do more. Again, this is Unmatching Global Pain, which is just energy blocks, right? So you can find, let's see, where? Second chakra, I guess, is an easy one to find things. So second chakra, below the belly button, has to do with, it helps with emotions, emotional strength, positive emotion, sensuality, so enjoying your senses, including smell, taste, all sorts of good stuff. Sexuality as well. So that's all second chakra. So you can imagine a copy of your second chakra out in front of you, and it could be both astral and physical. Second chakra, your second chakras, and you notice an energy block just in with your second chakras that is just like in vibration what most people on the planet have, and then just melt your energy blocks that you notice that are very, very similar to what most people on the planet have. And therefore, by just melting your blocks, you're unmatching the global pain. And you can, of course, say, angels, help me do this. Right? And then go ahead and, it could be that you did one in the front, you maybe want to do more in the front, you can do some in the back, around the cylinder part of the chakra. So just, again, notice energy blocks around or in your second chakras that are just like energy blocks that most people on the planet have, and go ahead and melt your energy blocks. And right now we're doing second chakra energy blocks. And if that's not clearing yet, of course you could pause the live stream or the video and do more, but you could just say, angels, help me clear that. So first chakra energy blocks. First chakra is at the base of the spine, helps with abundance, safety, and courage. So courage in sort of like the absence of fear, the absence of anxiety, stuff like that. So it's a great chakra to work for so many reasons. So just imagine a copy of your first chakras out in front of you, just yours. So your first chakra, astral body chakra, and your physical body first chakra. You can imagine them together or separately, whatever you want. But just yours, and find energy blocks around or inside your first chakra that are just like energy blocks that most people on the planet have right now. And just find some of those and just melt your version of the energy blocks. So it could be a one energy block, or it could be a bunch of like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And just take your time, and you're only melting your energy blocks. But use gold light from your hands and just melt those energy blocks. Okay, so let's do another first chakra energy block. And again, we're melting energy blocks, and you're just melting energy blocks within yourself. But we're specifically intuitively picking blocks that also most people on the planet have, and you're unmatching global pain by melting your copy. And it's safe to just melt your copy. And it helps in a lot of ways. So imagine your first chakras and an energy block that's really good for you to clear, that also just happens to be, the same vibration as an energy block that most people on the planet have. And just go ahead and use gold light. You can bring up red earth energy and soak those energy blocks, your energy blocks only, in the red earth energy, and also gold light. And then once they melt away, you can just relax and be aware of your legs, maybe recreate your grounding. So you can just comb through your space, just notice what it's like, comb through all your auras, including your Weichi auras if you want. Comb through your astral body grounding and your physical body grounding. Make sure they're flowing well. Comb through your inner 2 aura layers, layer 2 and 1, closest to your body, 1 and 2, all around, just to unblock those a little bit. Again, your first and second layers of your aura, just unblock those extra so they expand and flow better. Also around your hips and your legs and your feet, you could do extra unblocking of your first and your second aura layers. All right, so that was Unmatching Global Pain with a little bit of combing through your aura afterwards. So explaining it took 5 minutes, and doing it is simple, but we did it for 18 minutes. So at the end, you know, it might mess with your focus to comment right now. You can comment at the end of the live stream, well, towards the end of the live stream, before we go to the Q&A, on what that was like for you, if you want. So now we will do some explicit work on, yeah, I think now we will go to the theme related stuff that I wanted to do. I think the reason this unmatching of global pain, part of why the angels taught it to me and wanted it to be in this twin set that I introduce it, is because unmatching global pain tends to be very strengthening on a personal level. And so that helps you to be able to manifest change and sort of fine-tune your work-life balance more. So, because, you know, like a lot of this energy stuff, it's sort of, it's easy to say, well, okay, I want more work-life balance. And that's a good start, you know, just to say it as an intention. But then making it happen, you know, in your actual daily life is, you know, takes a while to make it happen. And so the stronger you are, the safer you are, the faster you can progress with that. So from what I've seen, this unmatching global pain can help with that. It can help give you that extra boost of strength and safety. But the proof is in the pudding. We'll see, you know, how you experience it through your surveys, the people that I'm healing. And if you're just doing it on yourself, that would be interesting to know. You know, you could comment towards the end of the live stream or later when it's a saved video on what it was like for you just doing it on yourself only. If I didn't heal you, that's interesting to know as well. Okay, so with this theme related stuff, work-life balance, explicitly theme related, because the other stuff helps the theme too. Let's do the part where you heal these little parts of you. Like it's like a little version of you. So like for me, I was talking about, you know, being someone who overworks for many parts of my adult life. I'm still prone to it, although I think I've come a long way. So you imagine we already grounded, right? So if you're not grounded, you're just skipping to this, and you feel like you're not grounded enough, go to the grounding part, go up to the earlier grounding part, and then come back. But we're going to assume you're grounded enough, and keep going. So you imagine, I think the first one let's do is a wounded worker. So a wounded worker could be a lot of things, but it's a part of you that is somehow wounded about work. So it could be that maybe at some point in some lifetime, someone insulted you and said your work wasn't very good, your work quality wasn't very good, and so that wounded you and you haven't healed from it yet. Or, someone said, work harder, work faster, keep going, what are you doing? Ah! And they freaked you out. And so now you think you have to work 24/7. And so that in that way you're wounded, right? Somehow you're imbalanced and wounded, right? So that I think is a good one to start with because it sort of like covers all your bases. If you're not working, you have no motivation whatsoever. So maybe you're wounded in a certain way where, you have no motivation to work. You have no discipline, right? So just imagine these wounded worker parts of you. Okay. And so it's like, my name is Janet, right? So it would be little Janets. So if your name is, Betty Boop, then you imagine a bunch of little Betty Boops, little parts of you that are your wounded worker, right? And you can heal multiple ones at once, of your wounded worker self, but just as many as is healthy and gentle to do at once. So just imagine little versions of you that are wounded workers, and it could be from this or past lives, and then just use lots of gold light. And you can give each of these parts of you little red or orange or yellow grounding cords if you want, these little versions of you, and then lots of gold light. Just you can say something comforting to these parts of you, like it's okay, it's time to heal. You didn't do anything wrong. It's okay. It's okay. You can heal now. We can make it better. It's all right. And as these parts of you get fully healed, and you can say, angels help me heal these parts of me if you feel like it's not progressing fast enough. But as these parts of you heal fully, then they'll kind of pixelate and disappear because you're receiving that energy back. So it's no longer like a sectioned off wounded part of you. It's just regular usable energy of yours. So just keep healing these wounded worker parts of you until they do that, until they kind of become fully healed and dissolve and you receive the energy back. And you can keep saying comforting messages. It's okay. It's okay. It wasn't your fault. It's all right. It's all better now. All right. So we'll do more of that. Let's do another round of that. So that's heal your wounded worker parts of you. So let's do that the second time. So just imagine little parts, and if you feel spacey, recheck your grounding, make it nice and big and wide, all the way down to the core of the earth. Comb through it for a second. Make sure it's nice and flowing even in the back half. Okay, and go ahead and imagine, and these can be subconscious parts of you. You don't have to feel wounded to do this. But just imagine these wounded worker parts of you out in front of you. So little mini versions of you, but one of them's sad, one of them's angry, one of them's scared, whatever. You don't have to really think about it. Just be like, okay, these are my wounded worker parts of me that I need to heal right now, that are good to heal right now. And you can give them all little red or orange or yellow groundings all the way down to the core of the earth. And then lots of gold light. And just heal these wounded worker parts of you. And you can just say, it's okay, it's all right, it's time to heal. It's not your fault. It's all right. And as you heal more and more, then certain versions of you will dissolve because they're fully healed, and you'll get back the energy. So there may be just like one version left over. And so just keep healing that one version until that one gets fully healed too and dissolves, and you get the energy back. And if some of it's not dissolving, just say, angels, help me heal this. All right, good job. Woo, woo. You can do it. So that was heal your wounded worker parts of you, and we did that twice. So let's do for variety. I want to skip around just a little bit because I think sometimes, parents, I'm a parent to animals in this life. My husband and I chose not to be a parent to human children in this life. But we adopted way too many pets. So it's quite a big deal, all the responsibilities that we have to our pets. And so you can be overwhelmed as a parent, as a pet parent or as a human being parent. And maybe you're not overwhelmed anymore or right now or in this life, but maybe in other lifetimes you've been overwhelmed as a parent or caretaker, and you maybe didn't fully heal from it. A lot of times people get overwhelmed and, they never they never kind of fully fix it all. It's still kind of within them, and then you bring it forward to other lives. So let's heal the overwhelmed parent or caretaker parts of you. So again, that'll help even if you don't have pets, you're not married, you don't have kids, because you've had past lives. So it definitely can help. So just imagine the overwhelmed parent parts of you, overwhelmed, and it could be caretaker parts of you, like maybe you took care of a parent for 20 years of your life or something, so overwhelmed caretaker parts of you. And just imagine as many of those parts, versions of you that is healthy and gentle to heal right now. And then you can give them all little groundings. So these are little versions of you that are overwhelmed as a caretaker. And then just lots of gold light. And just wash out these parts of you with all the gold light. And you can say comforting messages to these parts of you too. It's okay. It's all right. You're safe now. It's time to heal. It's okay. And some of those parts of you are already healed, so they dissolve back and you got the energy back, but there may be a couple of versions of you still left. Again, these are the overwhelmed caretaker parts of you that are good to heal right now. And if that all didn't clear, you ask your angels for help. Say, angels, help me clear this. So that was overwhelmed parent / caretaker parts of you. So for an interesting contrast now, we can heal the overwhelmed child parts of you. Like you could have had it's kind of like a wounded inner child thing we're doing. Yeah, I guess we can call it that. So the wounded inner child parts, because I have videos that heal wounded inner child, so we may as well use the same term. So, but I think it's relevant too, especially for the theme work-life balance, because sometimes that can be why you have a discipline problem or a like a problem with moderation or balance in your life. Your wounded inner child parts of you can be impairing you from like having a more mature um, attitude towards projects that you have or a less avoidant attitude. Um, so it can help with everything really to heal wounded inner child parts. So just imagine a bunch of wounded inner child parts that you have from this or past lives that you still have, that are really healthy and gentle for you to heal right now. And just lots of, you can give them all little groundings, red or orange or yellow grounding from the earth energy. And then just wash gold light through these parts of you. Again, this is wounded inner child parts of you that are healthy and gentle to heal right now. That'll help your work-life balance. And you can give comforting messages to these parts of you. It's okay. It's time to heal. You're fine. You didn't do anything wrong. It's okay. So if those didn't finish clearing, you can just say, angels, help me finish clearing them for healing. So those wounded inner child parts of you would have dissolved and fully healed, and then you receive back the energy. So you don't see them as wounded inner child parts of you anymore. So let's do another batch of that. Heal wounded inner child parts of you. And check your grounding again. Just double check it. Make sure it's nice and flowing even in the back. Check your heart chakra. Make sure you have a nice flow in your heart chakra. Unblock it in the front and the back. Okay, so go ahead and imagine some wounded inner child parts of you that are really good, healthy, and gentle for you to heal right now. And you can give them all little cute little red or orange or yellow groundings. And just wash them out with gold light, these wounded inner child parts of you. Keep breathing, just relax, let the gold light do the work. And you don't have to feel the wounds, just let the gold light do the work. You can push these parts of you further away if you're feeling too much. You can put like a gold little fence or gold screen in between you and these parts of you if you're feeling too much. All right. So if they didn't all finish healing, just say, angels, help me finish healing. All right. So we did the heal the wounded worker. We did heal the overwhelmed caretaker part of you, heal the wounded inner child parts of you, all so we can have a better work-life balance. There's one that could have helped me. I'm sure it could still help me now, but really could have helped me back when only my husband knew I was an overworker and I didn't know. I justified it. I said, well, I have to. I'm trying to make a living. Okay, so we're going to heal the denial parts of you, heal the stuck in denial parts of you that are messing with your work-life balance. Because the more clarity you have on your issues, like deep clarity, not just like, oh, I'm so fucked up, The more you can kind of observe your own patterns and, kind of see the nuance in things more and perceive, oh yeah, I just blew an hour right there. I could have done something differently, and just not beat yourself up about it, but just like try to, breathe and clear the blocks that cause you to blow the hour, and just really, um, I think, denial and avoidance. Yeah. We'll do it all at once. The parts of you that are stuck in denial and the parts of you that are stuck in avoidance. Because that also can be a big source of time wasting and lack of focus. Is just like something's a little too triggering, and so you'll do 5 other things instead, even though that one thing is like super important for you to get done, versus just clearing the blocks and getting the most important thing done, so then you can just relax more as you do the other stuff. So yeah, so just imagine, so reground, right? Because that might have triggered some stuff. So just get your grounding nice and flowing. And imagine little parts of you that are either stuck in denial or stuck in avoidance or both, right? Parts of you that you're sure don't exist, right? Little mini yous that are stuck in denial or stuck in avoidance. And say hi to them. You don't have to feel what they feel. You can put up little gold ropes in between you and them if you want. I don't need gold ropes, but some people do. They like jump into the thing. So be separate. But okay, so you have these little versions out in front of you that are stuck in denial, stuck in avoidance, maybe from past lives. And just make little groundings for each one of those parts of you if you want, red or orange or yellow. And then just lots of gold light, and just wash these parts of you, heal them with the gold light. And just be like, it's okay. I forgive you. It's fine. It's okay. It's not your fault. It's no big deal. We're going to do this. We can heal. And just use lots of gold light and heal these parts of you. Again, these are denial parts of you, avoidance parts of you. Keep breathing, wiggle your toes, stay here. It's all right. You could say, angels, help me do this. So good job. If you still have little parts of you left over, just say, angels, help me heal that. So we'll do that a second time. Maybe after a little drink of tea. You can pat yourself on the back that you did it even once. So imagine out in front of you little denial and avoidance parts of you, little parts of you that are stuck in denial or stuck in avoidance, and it's messing with your work-life balance. Okay, and then say hi to these parts of you, tell them it's okay, it's time to heal, and then just make little red groundings for all of them, or orange groundings or yellow grounding, and just lots of gold light, wash out these parts of you so that they can fully heal, so that they're not stuck in denial or avoidance anymore. It's okay, it's okay, it's all right. And this, of course, is unhealthy denial. So, maybe there's like a little bit, like 0.00005% of the denial that you're in is healthy, but most of it would not be. So you're just melting the unhealthy denial parts of you and the avoidance parts of you. Oh. So again, when they're all melted, when they're all healed, those parts of you dissolve and you get the energy back, just as good, healthy, healed up life force. There's still leftovers. Just say, angels, help me heal these parts of me. All right. Good job. So that was healing parts of you to help work-life balance. And we did heal wounded worker parts of you, heal overwhelmed caretaker parts of you, heal wounded inner child parts of you, and heal denial and avoidant parts of you. Good job. So how long did that take? I don't know. Including explaining what we were going to do, that took about 21 minutes. So not that long to do a big thing. So now we're going to do something else big, but so quick, which is good. I explained it a lot in the intro. I'll try to timestamp the intro. The specific part in the intro where I talked about the ratio of balance. The ratio of work to like you time, personal you time. And that you can obviously work way too much, so you have like no you time at all, no personal time, no self-restorative, self-healing time, no fun time, no rest time. But the more you adjust that ratio to what you need, then not only are you remaining healthy, physically, mentally, emotionally, but you can adjust the balance to the point where you get enough you time where you're actually getting much stronger over time, which will help fuel all your growth, both personally and with your work. So that's the ideal, is which took me this long in my life to achieve. I think, knock on wood, I've finally gotten it. But depending on your jobs, your work, whatever collection of work you have, you'll need more or less you time. And in that example that I used where someone's establishing a new business or establishing two different new businesses, a mainstream business and then a dream business, there may be a temporary time period of, until that business gets off the ground or something, that it's healthy enough to have a certain ratio, but then after a while, it's like, okay, enough's enough. You got to adjust that ratio so you have more you time. But anyway, the point is, because you don't want to be self-depleting. Because if you're depleting, you're literally making yourself weaker and weaker, which makes you less effective in your work, which ultimately weakens your work. So that it's the idea is to dial the ratio between you time and your work time. Okay, I just did a little explanation all over again, of course. That's so me. But I did a lengthier explanation in the intro, and I'll timestamp that so you can go to it if you want. Okay, so now we'll do that. We'll work the ratio. The work-life balance ratio. And we'll clear energy blocks in the way of you getting the healthiest possible, most strengthening possible work-life ratio. Okay. So that was the explaining, so now the doing. Okay, so what's a fun way to do it? We'll do it two different ways. Just in case you have a preference, you'll discover it along the way. So the first way is blanket exercise. Super simple. Just make a big gold blanket out in front of you. Dump onto it all the energy blocks messing with your work-life balance ratio. Messing with you from, creating that ratio so that you have a strengthening balance in your life of work to life. Life to work. So all your energy blocks in the way of you manifesting a better balance with your work and life. All those energy blocks, just put them on the blanket. Say, angels, can you double check these? Make sure that's okay for me to clear all these at once. And then just wash them out with gold light, melt away everybody's cords from them, maybe bring up red earth energy. Again, melt everybody's cords away from all these blocks and just melt the blocks. So again, you're melting energy blocks on a blanket out in front of you. You could blow them up too, that's easy. If you're healing yourself, you can blow up the blocks. But you're melting blocks in the way of you improving your work-life balance and having such a good ratio between your work and your personal you time that you're getting stronger and stronger and stronger over time, which is the ideal. All right, so if you have more blocks that didn't clear, just say, angels, help me clear those. So let's do another version quick of that. Just so gold blanket out in front of you, dump onto it all the energy blocks in the way of you any energy blocks messing with your work-life balance and your ability to manifest better work-life balance. So all those energy blocks, just dump them under the blanket. Angels, is it okay for me to clear all these? Just ask your angels. And they'll remove some that if it's too much. And then go ahead and any that are left on your pile, just lots of gold light, gold fire, gold water, melt them down. You can bring up red earth energy, soak them in red earth energy, melt away cords going from anybody into the pile of energy blocks. And just keep melting them down. Take your time. You're melting away energy blocks in the way of you improving your work-life balance. And if you have any left over, you say, angels, help me clear those. Okay, and now we'll do a second way. So that was doing it with blanket exercise. And we did that 2 times. So now we'll do it just with moving the blocks over. And so you just imagine like your everything, I like to call it. So your 2 auras, your groundings, your physical body, your astral body, your Weichi auras around you too, and just everything. You know, you don't have to see in detail or see at all. You just say, okay, fine, I made a copy of my everything out in front of me. Right? It's all you, all your auras, your bodies, your grounding. And just imagine the blocks that are in the way, that are good to clear right now, that are messing with your work-life balance ratio. And just move the blocks to the side all at once. Just move them over to the side. Say, angels, is it okay for me to clear all these? And then go ahead and just melt them with gold light. Or if you're healing yourself, you can blow them up too. Or you can also just hand them to your angels. Angels, here you go. That's nice too. Okay, so again, just imagine your everything out in front of you, a copy of your everything out in front of you, just you. And imagine the energy blocks, wherever they are, you know, you don't have to know, messing with your ability to improve your work-life balance. And just move those blocks to the side. Move them all over to the side. And you can hand them to your angels. Angels, here you go. Or you can blow them up, or you can melt them with gold light, whatever you prefer. All right. So we did that 2 times also. So now we'll, as we wrap up, we're doing something else, of course. But it'll be quick. So we're just unblocking grounding again. Just imagine both your regular groundings, astral and physical body grounding, and just use lots of gold light. Get a good flow everywhere. Melt away the blocks, especially at the bottom. Check the bottom of each of your aura layers. Make sure they release well. So like layer 7, does it release well? Layer 6, layer 5, layer 4, layer 3, layer 2, layer 1. Just make sure they're not too blocked and compressed. Because if they are, then that impairs your ability to release. So just use gold light until they kind of expand and unblock. So that's unblocking the bottom of your aura layers, your regular aura layers. All right. So now the other quick thing we're doing, we did it at length in the last two healings of the November 2021 triplet set, which is clearing your stebs. I don't know how we should say it. You could vote maybe. But stubborn triggered energy blocks. Okay, so let's find some of those. You can just imagine them. They'll be in the front of your aura or up here. But we can just imagine a bunch of them all at once. So these are the ones that are really stuck. They haven't cleared through all the exercise we've been doing, but they're in the front and they're triggered. So just imagine a big lump of them. And bring up red earth energy, soak them in red earth energy. And imagine there's probably a ton of cords going into them from like everyone you know. That's why they're so stubborn and so stuck. So just melt away. Don't do anything to those people, but just melt the cords as they're going into your energy blocks. Melt all the cords and just saturate these energy blocks in gold light so that they melt away or blow up or whatever. You can also blow them up if they're yours, if you're healing yourself. And if any of them are still there, just say, angels, help me clear these. Let's do another lump of stubborn triggered energy blocks. And again, they're going to be like up here or right in the front of your aura. So just imagine a big mess of stubborn triggered energy blocks. Bring up red earth energy and melt away all the cords going to them from other people. And just keep saturating them in gold light so they clear, they kind of dissolve or blow up. If you have any leftovers, say, angels, help me clear those. And we just did so much, so let's do, as we wrap up, let's do a little bit of flower healing. So just whatever healing energy that you need right now, just make it as energy healing flowers. So they could be flowers that are gold or rainbow colored. You don't have to think about the color, but just whatever healing, universal healing energy that you need right now, just go ahead and create those vibrations with your hands and say, angels, can you double check my flowers? And then give these flowers to yourself. Okay, let's make more of those. Energy healing flowers for yourself, whatever healing vibration that you need for yourself, including maybe some work-life balance flowers thrown in there too, whatever vibrations you need to move forward with work-life balance and just feel good after this healing. Okay, so make those energy healing flowers. You can multiply them by 1,000, make sure you have enough for yourself, and say, angels, can you double check my flowers? And then give them to yourself. All right. So as we finally wrap up, just say, angels, can you give me a healing? So that'll help wrap up. Be a nice finishing touch. Have your angels heal you. Okay, great. So the healing is over. We did it. So we are done. I am going to very quickly, knock on wood, go through the comments because we have a Q&A that I'm about to do, a separate Q&A live stream. Open topic, so you'll be able to post one question, but about anything you want, like boundaries between you and a coworker, sleep issues, whatever you want to ask about, work-life balance stuff, whatever. If it involves reading you and I can't tell from your YouTube name, your first and last name, put that in the comment or put in just your first name and your last initial if you feel better that way. Because it helps me to read when I see the name. If it's about me reading your boundaries with someone else, also put their first name and last initial in too, because again, it helps me to read. If you really don't feel comfortable putting names, just, don't. All right, cool. So, quickly reading the comments. Someone says their spouse told me quite directly that they have overworking issues. Thank goodness, it's been an ongoing thing I work on. Someone gives me nice gratitude hands. Someone says the unmatching technique sounds excellent. Oh, good. They said it 3 times. Always everything in triplicate. Alrighty then. Hello, tuning in late to listen. That's okay. Someone says, hi there, Michigan, tuning in. That's nice. So from Michigan in the United States. Someone says, thank you, Janet. You're welcome. Someone says, good deal with this session. Oh, good. So you were healing yourself. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Someone says, thank you from Argentina. Oh, hello. You're welcome, of course. I do these group healing live streams 5 times a month. The dates and themes are listed on my website, janetwrightreadings.com, same name as this YouTube channel. The schedule for through the end of 2022 is on my website. Someone says the little groundings for all the little selves look so cute. Reminds me of birthday cake candles for some reason. That's adorable. Someone says, following up on what you said earlier, is it okay for me to help my kids with their unmatching? Yeah, I would say, ask your angels to help with it. Just say, you can say hi to your daughter, once you're centered, and just say, ask your angels to help you to unmatch group pain. That's good enough. Unmatch group pain, unmatch global pain, and just talk to their angels at the same time so that the kid's like, oh, okay, I'll work with my angels on whatever you just said. I think that's probably the best way, because then the angels pick the right time in the kid's sleep over time. So you can just kind of telepathically tune your kids into that's a thing that your angels can help with, and that it can help them be a lot stronger. And yeah, effective in life. Is there one kid who needs it more than the other? No, they both need it. But yeah, like I said, well, one is getting these 2 healings right now. But the other one, just let her know on the spirit level with telepathy that she can work with her angels on it. Someone says, hey, Janet, checking in to see how I am doing with my aura and grounding. I've been working with buffer zones as there were scoops I needed to heal. Thanks for this healing. Love the bunny prop. Oh, you're talking about a different video where I held up stuffed bunnies, I think. There's no bunny right now. So I can do that quickly. Your aura is fully repaired. Your gold buffer zones are very nice. Your angels like them too. Your grounding is nice, flowing in the front, back, everything. You're in 7 through 3 right now, so you're present all the way down to your 3rd chakra. 2 and 1 are very tight. And first and second layers are very compressed. So that video, get present in 2nd and 1st chakras, would be the best one to move on to doing. So keep working aura repair and grounding regularly, but that could be your sort of next step video, is get present in 2nd and 1st chakras. So you search Janet Wright, get present in 2-1 would pull it up. 2-1, the numbers. And you'll find it. Someone says, beautiful news. I don't know what the news was. Someone says, I feel relaxed, but also kind of out of it. Also have a headache. You healed me and I healed myself. Yeah, the thing is, when you get more present, you'll feel stuff that's going on with your body, and you do have hard energy little spear thingies stuck into the side of your GV meridian, all from the back of your neck all the way up to like your forehead area. So I can imagine that would be a headache. So it's not only damage, it's the hard objects. So you'd imagine your GV meridian and use sticky gold wax to get rid of all the hard objects. Do that a couple times and then repair. But yeah, so the healing didn't give you a headache, but it made you so much more present that then you feel things that are happening more with your physical body. But that's very healable, which you know. Okay, someone says, thanks for the amazing healings over this last year. You're welcome, especially the last couple of months. Today was perfect and perfect in its timing. Oh, good. Yeah, the angels help me figure out the themes. So, yes, you're welcome. So it says, what a great day for a healing. Thank you. I'm just headed to yin yoga. Thanks for your work. Well, that's nice. It's a good combo. Someone says, thank you for the walkthrough. The unmatching made me feel so light. Oh, very nice. Yeah. Along with the wounded inner child healing. Well, good. That's good to know that you were able to heal yourself and that it really clicked with you well. That's nice. Good, good, good. Your angels are very excited about it too. Both the unmatching of the global pain and also the heal wounded inner child and all those other little parts we did. Someone says, thanks for this incredible healing, Janet. I feel so refreshed, relaxed, and at ease. Oh, nice. Yeah, that would be the unmatching, the global pain. Someone says, so thank you, hands, Janet. Tired and foggy brain. Clearing, grounding. Have always had a feeling. You have some, again, when you get more present, you feel things that are not quite right in your physical body that were not quite right before. So you do have damage in the front and the back of your 3 creative rings. So up here. So they're broken in the front and they're broken in the back. So just do creative ring repair. Just imagine 3 rings, repair, la la. Tired, foggy brain. I think the foggy brain is just the creative ring problem. The unmatching global pain is a huge energy shift. I mean, good energy shift, but big. You seem to be a little bit like you're in 7 through 3 right now, not 2 and 1. I would just unblock 2 and 1 a little extra, just so you can pop in and get your sea legs with it. I mean, I mean, your angels don't want you to get scared away from this unmatching global pain stuff because it could really like be a missing puzzle piece for you. All the people who are like, I'm an empath, or whatever, they know that they have energy safety problems. It's a especially helpful thing. That same person says, I have always feeling that working hard is necessary for survival. I'm assuming this inner child wounds or previous lifetime. Yeah, I mean, just heal your wounded worker. That's the first one that we did. That covers that. It's inner child is not necessarily, it can be things that happened as an adult in past lives. So wounded inner child would just be for things that happened when you were a child in this life or past lives. So the wounded worker stuff, that's a good catch-all for that. But yeah, repair your creative rings and then unblock 2 and 1 chakras. So it says, thanks, Janet. I did do some GV work to get rid of the headache, but must have missed those spears. Yeah, that's the problem. If you have those hard energy objects there, you got to get those. So just, yeah, I usually like kind of feel for them, or just like, that if you run your hand through and it's smooth, then it's smooth. But this will be like, boop, 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 like you're trying to run your hand along a fence, and you feel it, your hand just hits those. Or you just use your intuition, or just do the gold wax anyway, just in case. Someone says, yes, it was the old bunny prop. Yeah, it's from, I still have those bunnies, actually. One of them I can see right now. 2 of them I can see right now. Someone says, can I use this to heal financial triggers? Using these techniques, feel 1 chakra and 2 blocks are coming up for me. Heal financial triggers using these techniques. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what financial triggers, like just anxiety about money. I mean, the stubborn energy block stuff, you could just keep clearing stubborn energy blocks from your, stubborn triggered energy blocks, which we did a lot in the earlier healings this month. But we did a little bit right at the end, just imagine the first layer, stuff in the front of your first layer. That would be stuff that makes you freak out about money. You can just keep clearing those. It's just, you know, for you, it's a bunch built up from past lives. So it just takes a while to just keep clearing. I mean, you've made progress already. It may not feel like it, but you have. So it says, thank you very much, Janet. Got interesting, stretchy sensations as I was healing myself today. It reminds me of the way I feel when I'm doing breathing exercises. Oh, nice. Well, cool. Someone says, hey, Janet, you healed me today. Yes. I have been doing a lot of meditating lately to clear stuff blocking my writing career, but as I do that work, I still have my day job and feeling too tired to write. Yeah. I think your balance is a little off. Um, so you can just keep doing that, the ratio, clearing energy blocks so that your ratio, I explained it in the intro more, but there's a ratio, and if you do more you time, because you're kind of like a little bit sort of like swimming through your career energy like 24/7, which isn't, the you time means that you're actually not your career, you know what I mean? Like your career is meaningful, maybe it's a career you love, so you have your mainstream career, then your career you love maybe, but then there's time where it's just you. And I think the ratio is not quite right. You may have certain hours where you're not working, but part of your spirit never stops, and that's messing with your ratio and your balance, so that you're actually a little bit depleting over time, and you're not getting stronger at a pace that you could get. So keep working that, the ratio. We did it towards the end, clearing energy blocks in the way of your ratio to have an optimal work-life balance ratio. Okay, cool. So that's a good note to end on. So now I'm going to take a break, and then I will come back and do the Q&A live stream, which will be maybe about 15 minutes later than it was originally scheduled. So I'll tweak the start time on it, edit the start time. Okay, you guys are awesome. Congratulations for working on your self-healing, even if you just listened as you wash dishes or something. That still counts. And again, the lowest motivation version of doing this kind of work is just, angels help me with all that she was talking about. I'll just say that. Angels help me with all that stuff. I'm gonna let my angels help me with all this stuff. Yeah, that way you're more open to your angels trying to help you with this stuff, while you're awake subconsciously, and also when you're sleeping. Okay, so you're awesome. Take care, and if you want, I will see you in just a few minutes in the Q&A live stream, which will be open topic on any question you want. One question. Okay, bye. Thank you so much. Oh, and the second work-life balance healing is in 2 days.